It is the 11th of April, 2024. This is WIKISPEED Stand-Up. Go ahead, Lauren.
Okay, this is Lawrence Salter, Gabriel Island, British Columbia, Canada. And just in the last little bit, I've been checking things out and learning, refreshing my memories about Bash and Linux. And so in the last last few hours, I solved the problem about it rebooting and not connecting to the network, which appears to have been, well, I can talk in crosstalk, but I solved that. I'm at the stage actually where one of the servos moved and it said servo is set to 90 degrees, but then nothing happened after that. So I was just about to try to go to Raspberry config, and which also I used to solve the problem. Raspberry config. I think I set the SSH to on and SSH to enabled. So and it was saving everything. It was just because I didn't change the set host name. So I guess if the host name is still Ubuntu or whatever it is, or Ubiquity, that's a signal for it to go back into the
Hotspot.
hotspot. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Coming week, then I'm going to finish building it. They've got a couple of problems. I'll talk in blocks. And I think I'll update Trello some more because I've made progress. And blocks are right now. It's still I have to log in on the connected keyboard to get on. So I know there's a way in the config to turn off that, so it just logs in. It uses a password and it just logs in, I think. Or you SSH in and then I'm not sure.
SSH in, I think you can, it'll still show you the login screen if you have a monitor and keyboard connected, but it's a multi-user system, so you can SSH
Oh,
and
I didn't try it. Yeah.
it lets you.
No, yeah, I did. No, it refused the connection until I logged in.
So it doesn't sound like you had SSH enabled then.
No, as soon as I logged in, I could SSH in.
Okay.
I think there's a few steps to that. You need to set it up. I was reading about it, and there's different states, but we can talk about that in crosstalk anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. It is Michael Olchek, Saskatoon, Canada. For this past week, I posted last week's stand-up. And my Polaris project, I got a little bit of stuff done. I located some various connectors and cables. I made a pigtail so that I can check the signals. Ordered a bunch of parts so that I could read the signals on an ESP32. I haven't got that far yet, but I ordered the parts. And the lithium battery that was in the two lithium batteries that was in the Ranger were actually down to like 6 volts. So I pulled them apart, and there's a couple of cells in each of the packs that look like they went negative. So I think they're hooched. I haven't put a charger on them, so I don't know for sure. So while I was doing that, I plugged in a power supply, a 56-volt power supply, to the Ranger and basically tried to keep going, and found out that I have a problem with my key switch or my parking brake because the power is not getting to the controller when it should be. Everything is, of course, very corroded. It's been sitting outside. So I made progress, but I didn't get nearly as far as I was hoping to. And next week, I'm hoping to get a little bit more done on the Polaris project and whatever I can do to help Lauren with the Sun Founder, get the ROS up and running. basically get us to the same point so that we can then continue on from there. And a little bit of work on my pump runtime stuff, but that's nothing serious. And blocks, besides not having as much determination to get projects done, there's nothing keeping me from doing the projects. It's just I don't feel like it sometimes. Back to you.
Okay, so I'm going to give myself a 9, and the team a 10, and but we're starting to. Oh yeah, so I have a question for Crosstalk, which is, has anybody taken any more steps to join up?
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Okay, I estimated that I could get 4 points done for last week. I got 4 points done, so I'm going to have to give myself a 10 out of 10 for that one. And I'm going to agree 10 for the team. So we are doing well. And I don't have a process improvement, so I guess we're into crosstalk. Nobody that I invited last week, or was that 2 weeks ago? Nobody has gone any further. No one has connected up with Trello, and no one has sent out a message on the WIKISPEED group. So we did have one more application. I haven't got it processed yet. I've still got a little bit of cleanup to do on the code for processing the emails. There's supposed to be a way to say, to mark the email as read so that it won't reprocess it. Right now, every time I run it, it finds everybody that's ever filled in the form and runs through it again. So it's that needs some work too. Video. I was going to share my screen. Where is it? Come on.
I think it's the arrow pointing to the right.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do the entire screen. Okay, you have to click on it first. Ooh, that's interesting. So I am gonna try and hit play and see if this works for you. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I see it. Aha. Wow. Cool. Nice.
Just skipping ahead a little bit. Okay. So that's.
Cool.
We'll stop sharing. So that's a link to that is in my weekly stand up. I'll get that posted here pretty quick if you want to see it again.
Great.
But you said that you had the message that it went to 90 degrees. But did you only have one server go to 90 degrees, or did all of them go?
Yeah, yeah. And then I actually left it on to see if it was just slow, but it should be pretty quick, right?
Yeah, and it just sits there like they all move at once. and then they all stop. And then in order to get out of the program, you got to hit Control C because that's all it does, and it never ever
Oh,
drops back to the terminal.
and did it give you some kind of traceback errors when you hit Control C?
Um, I don't know. Let's go take. Oh, I can't easily go.
Anyway, I might have missed it, but I was watching carefully, and I thought I saw only one go. But I'll check again. So I didn't know. I thought I was expecting him to say now doing two, because you said something about the only way to identify the servos, which is which, was to. I had a pen ready to mark them as number one, number two, number three. But I must have misunderstood that.
Or I didn't remember right. Um, the Yeah, because
So how do you figure out which servo goes to which?
excellent question. Because we saw them all three move at the same time. Maybe the program did it differently before, because like right now you're gonna put it all together with not knowing which servo it is. I
You
guess
told me
I guess
before something
worst
like,
worst case, all you'd have to do is unplug because the servos are right beside each other on the board behind the
oh,
Raspberry Pi. So all you'd
okay,
have to do is rearrange them. Like if you told it to
right,
steer and it panned instead, then you
yeah.
just change them around, right?
So okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah. So I was kind of looking at one, and I did it twice, and I heard a noise, and then I looked, but it happened pretty fast. So I maybe they're all three. I didn't know all three moved, and it's just trial and error to figure out which servo goes where.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay. All right. So then my only issue is the booting the thing that it I can SSH into it, and I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, it's coming up, and what's the funny thing is it shows at first the old the date that it used to come up with in the time, but then after 30 seconds it um, corrects the time, and it's connected to the network and it has the time right.
Hmm. Okay.
What that I saved before probably. No, I didn't tell it to use internet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
so everything's working that
yeah,
wasn't pretty much, except I just have to figure out that login. And you may be right. I may be able to log in remotely. So as you recall, it's asking you to log in on the monitor, but you can SSH in and put the password in that way.
yeah. It's just
Okay.
like
Well,
regular Linux system. You can whatever port you're on, you can log in.
yeah, yeah.
Now I
Okay.
don't know why it would have locked you out until you logged in with the keyboard.
That's
Doesn't
I
make
haven't
sense.
tested it enough. I haven't tested it enough. I'm just excited.
Yeah,
It
if it
worked.
does that, I don't know how it does that because SSH is either on or it's not. I don't think there's a timeout.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So what I didn't understand was that the config menu was not. I couldn't find it on the desktop, but I could with the terminal. I put in Raspy config, and the menu came up, and to
Okay.
do all the things. And I think that menu has a thing about how you log in, but I'll explore that and do it.
Okay.
And then I still haven't changed the. Well, I shouldn't talk on here, but yeah. Oh, we could go offline. Yeah. Why don't we end and talk a little more? Now you're
Recording.
saying